Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. And what the fuck was that? Was every driver drinking in the Grand Prix bar before the race started? This was a manic weekend for Formula 1, which is surprising because, let's be honest, the first 5 races had been abysmal. They were bore fests, and the first 30 laps or so kind of looked like they were going that way. But Lance Stroll's crash changed everything. So, before we begin, remember to subscribe. We are hurtling towards 400. Huge milestone for me. Would be really happy to keep you around. So, press that subscribe button. And with that, let's begin the video.
Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
This all started in qualifying because we had 4 or 5 cars in the wall in qualifying. We had Giovinazzi, we had Stroll, who else? Ricciardo, and then Tsunoda and Sainz in Q3. That paved the way for Leclerc to claim a pole position that he really deserved after the Monaco Grand Prix, but almost felt like he had no chance of getting otherwise. Took a bit of luck, took a bit of talent. That's what you like to see in Formula 1. And that just led the opening to a crazy race. Leclerc led away from Hamilton and Verstappen. Hamilton got past Leclerc, then Verstappen did, then Perez did. Hamilton got slowed down at the pit stops. Unusual, but it was Gasly coming into the pits that seemed to slow him down, so could be a little team strategy there with Red Bull and AlphaTauri. I think it was very lucky, so I doubt it. That changed the race because then we had Verstappen and Perez leading the way, and it looked like the race was going to settle down into that. The Red Bulls leading the Mercedes. The Mercedes not quite fast enough at Baku to catch them, so it looked like it was going to be a Red Bull 1-2. Didn't work out like that. First we had Lance Stroll's crash, which looked like a big one. And it looked like tyre failure. And I think that's going to be the main story through the next week. Is if you go onto the news websites, it will be Pirelli in hot water. But Lance Stroll was out. That led to safety car. And you had a few cars pitting. Most cars stayed out. It was fine. Everything looked to be going normal. Verstappen led away, Perez, Hamilton. Everything looked fine. Vettel was climbing through the field. That was really the only thing that stood out as crazy. He is, well, the last couple of races, he's doing a good job, Vettel. Verstappen crashes. Again, it's a tyre failure. Pirelli are now in deep shit. Big crash, 200 miles an hour. Glad he's okay. And that brings out the red flag. And it looks like that was at Red Bull's advice. Or at least they said to the FIA, we didn't know that was going to happen, so you should probably stop the race. Give everyone a chance to get fresh tyres on so it doesn't happen again. Only like 2 laps left. And it's interesting, we get a standing start with Perez and Hamilton. It honestly looked at this point like Hamilton was about to take back the advantage in the championship. 2 laps earlier, it looked like Verstappen was going to have a decent points lead, thanks to his teammate doing the job that Perez is paid to do, being in second place and really getting in the way of the Mercedes. Mercedes definitely not having a great race, but Bottas was nowhere. Like on pure pace, he was like 13th. I don't know if he had some other issue, but he was not a factor in this race at all. Kind of a shock. I mean, I'm down on Bottas most of the time for various reasons, but he's having a terrible year. And this race, it's the 3rd race out of 6 he hasn't scored points in this year, which for Mercedes is a lot. But we get the restart, and as I said, it looks like Hamilton's got the advantage back in the championship. And then he goes and steams it straight into turn 1, locks the brakes, carries on. So he drops right down to the back of the field, and it's only a lap and a half left. So that's it. Mercedes score no points. It's the first time Lewis Hamilton has not scored points in a race since Austria 2018. And it's the first time Mercedes haven't scored any points as a constructor since Austria 2018. Pretty manic race. It was absolutely crazy. And then it's just, even the podium is weird. Sergio Perez gets his first win for Red Bull. I'm ecstatic about that. He's a great driver. He's had a great career. Really deserves to have won more races than one. Now he's got 2. Great. Really happy for him. Sebastian Vettel's in second in an Aston Martin. I don't think... I'd never really expected them to be up there. I kind of wondered at the start of the year where they would be. And I thought maybe they might clinch 1 or 2 podiums this year. But I thought they would maybe drop back a little bit. Sort of be the 5th best team. Yeah, so Sebastian Vettel. Finishing second. Honestly, since Monaco, he has been on fire. Second place is a great result for him. It's probably his best since 2019. So this was a fantastic job. A great result for Aston Martin. Shame about Stroll, but at least they got something to take away. And Gasly on the podium again. He is a fantastic driver, and he needs to be given a top race seat at some point because he is too good for AlphaTauri. Honestly, he is such a wasted talent there. He could be a consistent race winner, championship contender. He just needs the right team. I can see him ending up somewhere like Ferrari eventually, but right now he is doing a great job for AlphaTauri. Charles Leclerc scored points again. Carlos Sainz was in the points. I think Fernando Alonso was. Kimi Raikkonen. It's a pretty unusual list. Tsunoda finished 7th. He had a great race. So if I was going to choose a driver of the day, it's very, very difficult. Because I would like to choose Sebastian Vettel because obviously he overachieved massively. He was helped along the way. Verstappen and Hamilton sort of, you know, had their issues and gave him second place essentially. Otherwise he would have finished 4th, which is still a decent result. But I'm going to go with Sergio Perez because this was massive. Because there's been talk, I think Christian Horner said in the week that there's no rush to discuss a contract extension for Sergio Perez. And the first 5 races of the year, he'd kind of been okay. He's kind of a step up from Albon, but not a massive one. He's only finishing 4th and 5th. Had a couple of bad races. Imola was bad. And now he's a Red Bull race winner. So give him that contract extension because here's a go. He could do the job. Before Verstappen crashed, he was being the second driver in second, holding back Hamilton from attacking Verstappen. That's exactly what you pay him to do. And he has now shown he's capable of doing that. So he needed this, and it was a great result. He needs to improve in qualifying because he only qualified 6th. And he is quick. So I think over the year we're going to see him get stronger and stronger. I think he is now 3rd in the championship. So he's ahead of Bottas. Must have jumped Lando Norris as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 3rd. Red Bull extend their lead in the constructors, which, as much as I thought, hey, Verstappen could fight Hamilton for the title, I did not see Red Bull beating Mercedes. If they can keep this going for another 17 races, I would be amazed, and it'll be the shock result of the century. But if anyone can at the moment, it's definitely Red Bull. So Formula 1's got a little bit more exciting. It took a little bit of carnage, a bit of craziness, but this was by far the best race of the year so far. It'd be nice to keep this going, but obviously this was a bit of a strange race. But it leaves me a little more optimistic for the rest of the season. The championship has been interesting all year, just the races haven't been. This mixed it up a lot, because I think once Verstappen was out, I expected Hamilton to win, and he didn't finish in the points either. So it still leaves the title really open. Verstappen deserved this race win. He controlled the race. He was perfect throughout the race. And it was just a moment of bad luck. It seems to happen to him fairly often that he really needs to cut out. He needs to finish pretty much every race from now on because Lewis Hamilton will. He has finished 7th and 16th, I think. So when was the last time Lewis Hamilton finished outside the top 5 twice in a row? I've no idea. I'm going to check quick. Okay, so I googled it, as you do, and the last time Lewis Hamilton finished outside the top 5 twice in a row was India and Abu Dhabi back in 2013. So it's been 8 years since that's happened. If this is a sign of things to come, then crown Max now. I don't think it's going to work like that. Let's see how the season goes. It looks like it is going to be an interesting one. Hopefully the racing continues to be exciting and overtaking happens and we get some form of craziness here and there. It makes it so much easier to watch. So with that, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and have a good one.